Carr's Beach and neighboring Sparrows Beach evolved into a premier vacation retreat for black families within the Mid-Atlantic region between 1926 until the 1960s. The origins of the property began in 1902 when Frederick and Mary Wells Carr purchased 180 acres of farmland on the Annapolis Neck Peninsula. The couple would have two daughters, Elizabeth and Florence. The family farmed the land 7 years later. The Carr family hosted picnics on the idyllic coastline bordering Chesapeake Bay. They organized church socials, picnics, and hosted boarders. 2 years before Frederick Carr's death, the family established Carr's Beach. In 1931, Florence Carr Sparrow, one of the inheriting sisters, created Sparrows Beach, adjacent but slightly north of Carr's Beach. The sisters managed separate resorts. Carr's and Sparrow Beach eventually attracted thousands of black clientele from the East Coast. The beach was used for swimming and during the summer for day camps, church outings, and community-focused events. The highlight of any visit became the Carr's Beach Pavilion and dancing to the local and regionally popular performances. Following Elizabeth's death in 1948, William "Little Willie" Adams headed the operation into an expanded direction. Adams was a numbers operator and businessman with entertainment contacts. The resort badly needed capital to sustain operations. By the 1950s, Carr's Beach had become a major venue for black musicians on the Chitlin circuit. These venues catered to black audiences on weekends during the summer months. The performers became a who's who of legendary jazz and soul music. Names such as Billie Holiday, Duke Ellington, Dinah Washington, Aretha Franklin, Ray Charles, James Brown, and Jackie Wilson headlined. Besides jazz and soul, early rock and roll pioneers Fats Domino, Chuck Berry, Little Richard, and even Buddy Holly performed. The venue continued to diversify and would become one of the first to accommodate a sizable interracial audience. By the early 1960s, the civil rights movement had opened fresh vistas for integration, limiting the novelty of racially exclusive outlets. In 1962, James Brown drew an 11,000 capacity crowd, but the numbers at Carr's Pavilion were dwindling. By the late 1960s, new owners were experimenting with rock groups such as Led Zeppelin and Rare Earth. In 1973, the site hosted its final show featuring Frank Zappa. There is no contemporary performance or structural remnant left of either property. Residential development has cordoned off access to outsiders. Construction development has erased all memory of a resort that once was a staple for a clientele excluded from mainstream audience venues.